yesterday and said she wanted to come over and give my parents a manicure pedicure.
Oh my god.
And so my mom called me and I called her. I'm like, can I come?
I was wondering how you did it. That's awesome.
Can I come? She was there from
This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams. We're at 4115 Coldstream Ter, Tarzana, California 91356. It is August 25th, 2020, and we are performing a video sewer and waistline inspection through the clean out at the rear of the house back behind the kitchen area. So we're going to begin running our camera. We're going to zero out our camera monitor here for a moment. Going to get our camera over here. This is the backyard area. And we're going to position our camera right at the opening of the ABS cleanout. And then we're going to zero out our camera monitor. Okay, we're zeroed out and we're ready to start running our camera. And this is the kitchen area. This is a kitchen window. And this is our 3-inch ABS plastic waistline cleanout. Run in, and this is going to run underneath the slab of the house. Here's we have some debris. We have some debris in this line. We're just going to run in a little bit and then we'll try and run some water, see if we can clear the line. Okay, we're running some water right now. Try and help us clear this line a little bit. We're just going to run out. It's probably going to take a little bit to try and push all the way out. Transitioning to cast iron. We'll see where we transition to the cast iron. Easier to try and view the line on the way back. We'll use the water to help us try and push all the way out. And now we're transitioning to vitreous clay. I'm going to stop and try and locate this area real quick. It does look like there's a mainline sewer cleanout, but it may not be brought up to grade, and it does look like vitreous clay fitting, so we'll take a look. Okay, we've located this area, and it is in the bushes to the left of the front door at 2 foot 2 inches deep, and we've marked this area with an orange flag. We're going to begin to push out again. It does appear we're probably in Orangeburg sewer piping. From what I can see, it'll be easier to see on the way back, but just from the texture of the piping and a little bit of bumps in there and the humps, it's very typical for this area. We'll be able to really take a good look at it on the way back. Got some larger humps in it here. Some areas holding a little bit of water. Then we transition to vitreous clay again. And we're probably right at the front of the property. We're at the 4 to 6 inch transition more than likely. We're going to go and locate this area. Okay, we've marked this area out just to the right of the driveway as you're entering the driveway. In the grass area at 3 foot 3 inches deep. We marked it with an orange flag. And that is the vitreous clay, or ABS plastic to vitreous clay transition right here. Now we're going to keep running out, get into the city sewer, and then we'll shut our water down, and we'll take a look at the line when we're on our way back. We're having to run a long way. Appears that we have some large root intrusion, I believe, right here at about 90 feet. Take a look at that on the way back. Probably be at about 105, 110 feet as we enter the city sewer. And right there is our city sewer tie-in connection. We're going to pause here for just a moment, shut our water down, and let it dissipate. Okay, we're going to pull our camera back just a little bit. Got the water off in the house. This is our city sewer saddle connection. Still have a little bit of water running down. Pause here for a minute. Okay, we're going to continue pulling back now slowly. Quite a bit of the water's dissipated. We have some home inspectors inside the house. More than likely they're running some water as well. Joints appear to be in fair, maintainable condition. We're just going to pull back slow, and if we have an issue, we'll see if we can get the inspectors to quit using the water for a few minutes. We can see these joints and see the pipe. This is the lateral in the street. This is the vitreous clay lateral, and appears to be in fair condition. The joints so far all look to be in fair condition. The piping looks to be in fair condition as well. Better look at that joint. That joint looks to be in fair and maintainable condition. Make a little bit of a turn and coming up. That joint appears to be in fair condition. Take a look at this right here. Can't tell exactly what that is. It appears to be root intrusion. Very difficult to tell. It's odd looking. Probably have to blow that up on the laptop back at the office. But it does appear to be root intrusion. I'm just going to pull back just a little bit. So we're at the Orangeburg 2 vitreous clay transition right here anyhow. And this area has to be replaced. It's probably growing in right there, that joint. And the Orangeburg piping needs to be replaced. It's an old tar paper piping. Gets very brittle through the gears. And you can see right here, we have a very huge hump in the piping right here. We're going to pause for a moment. We're going to just see if the home inspectors are running water, if we can ask them to stop for a few moments. Okay, we're going to begin pulling back. There's a hole right off to the right side at about the 4 or 5 o'clock area. There's some huge humps in the pipe. We're going to just push back in a little bit. And there's some humps right there, right off to the right. And there's a lot of humps in the pipe because of the Orangeburg piping. Coming up to the vitreous clay, there's a huge one right there off to the left. You can see. Then we have what appears to be a root intrusion right there at that next joint, and it's restricted by probably about 50%. It could be an overpour of concrete slag and not root intrusion, but we'll check that on the laptop back at the office. It's a possibility. It's odd that it would be that much, but that's a possibility too. So we're going to continue to pull back, and the Orangeburg piping definitely needs to be replaced. As I said, you can see the big old humps in it. And it just starts coming apart, starts breaking and peeling away. And it'll catch paper, it'll catch a lot of debris, cause stoppages. If somebody were to be using wipes, or you get people using too much paper in here, then it's definitely going to stop up. You get a large family, a lot of kids possibly, and you have a lot of paper going down there, it's going to cause stoppages. You have a short section of vitreous clay, I don't know why, in between. More big humps right there, holding back a little water, a little debris. This Orangeburg piping is probably approximately 50 years old, so hasn't done bad considering. They only used Orangeburg piping in residential homes out in this area for approximately 10 years, and then they stopped using it. And then we come back to our vitreous clay. We marked this area right at the house with an orange flag at 2 foot 2 inches deep. Coming back, now we transition to cast iron as we're coming back up underneath the house. And cast iron has some buildup in it, has some rutting at the bottom. See where it's like a little river flowing through the bottom and all this buildup. I didn't see any major root intrusions or anything, but we'll see on the way out. Kind of hard to see with the water running while we're trying to push out because it's so far from this back clean out. Making a turn. This cast iron line needs to be hydrojetted and cleaned and re-inspected to see what condition the line is actually in. It's very difficult to tell with all the buildup in it. Make another turn. Coming back to ABS plastic now. So we have partial ABS plastic, probably where we had some remodeling done, and then tied into cast iron. Pulling back toward our waistline clean out in the backyard. And now we're pulling up and out of our clean out. And that will conclude our waistline and video sewer line inspection. And that concludes our video sewer inspection and waistline inspection.